Hey yo, what it do YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10 aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some more NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Now more specifically, what I have for you today happens to be the best glitched Gary Trent Jr. shooting guard build within all NBA 2K22 Next Gen, which just happens to be a glitched playmaking shot creator archetype at the 2 guard, whilst at the same time having a lot of defensive capabilities that obviously the game didn't want to pull through and give us the 2-way playmaking shot creator. Now, I do gotta say a big old shout out to Faith for this here build, because Faith has been on my ass to drop this build for quite a while, and I have been slacking when it comes to dropping it just because I have been, you know, kind of busy with some stuff, but we finally got to doing it. And what you're seeing behind you happens to be the process of me showing you how to set up this portion of the glitched build. Now, I also gotta say a big old shout out to Mr. Pay-Per-View TV for jumping in the comments and getting at me for the last build I made, which happened to be a glitched Zion Williamson build, because in his words, I was taking things a bit too, you know what I'm saying? It was going a bit from Zion to some supreme, what I believe to be great level of Zion. And yeah, I just hope you guys know it's not meant to be clickbait. It's me making the builds the best I can and trying to make them as playable as I can within NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Now, quickly before I continue showing you what's happening in the glitch, I do gotta say, as the new overlay says, don't forget to do me a favor. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Drop a comment telling me what build you want to see. Share the video, which helps a lot. And then also, if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. Now, as you can see, we are currently in the middle of the process of setting up the glitch build. We are in one of the long phases of maxing out the build. I believe at this point we're doing 2.05 meters on the height, like 87 kilograms on the weight, and maybe 2.38 meters on the wingspan. I can't properly see because I'm watching this through Premiere Pro and it is kind of tiny, but as you can see, as per usual, we just max out the attributes on these builds we're editing, proceed over to the takeover screen where we just select random takeovers because it doesn't matter yet. Go ahead, press yes, get to this final screen where we then have to hit edit build, 2-way pass first guard, Klay Thompson. Okay, this game is bugging. Edit build, head all the way back out to the main menu where we then want to go to the settings and change our units of measurements from metric to imperial, head straight back into my career, go look for the build that we're currently in the process of setting up, edit that build by pressing triangle, and then whilst we're here, we go ahead, adjust the height and set it all the way down to 6 or 7, bring the weight to 188, and then proceed again, maxing out the attributes one more time because this is what we got to do. Now, how many of you are actually getting NBA 2K23? If you are, do me a favor, go ahead and put it down below, hashtag 2K23 in the comments, because me, myself, I will be getting the game, but I'm also looking to see who else will be on the game, because I am possibly looking for some people to add to the team, because as most of you know, it's always just me and Crumpton Oates, as well as some new faces, some people you might be seeing a little bit more of, hopefully, depending on how things go. Now, once we've edited the build, we again head all the way back out to the main menu, features, settings, change it to metric, head back in to adjust the build one last time on this metric side, where we want to go find the shooting guard build we've been messing with, press triangle to edit it, go ahead, skip this part of the vitals because it doesn't matter. We want to adjust the height to be 2.0, actually, I think this is where no, did I mess it up here? Yeah, I did mess it up here. So we want to put the height at 2.05 meters, wingspan at 2.29, keep the weight at 85 kilograms, max, oh, yep, there we go. I knew I did something wrong. Decrease the height and the weight down. You should end up with 2.05 meters, 2.29 meters on the wingspan, and then 84 kilograms on the weight. As you can see, I do get some things wrong like everybody else. From here, we want to again proceed to max out all the attributes because as you know, this is the process of setting up glitch builds. It is quite long. Quickly max out the attributes, which happens to take me a sec here. I am quite amazed by this. Yeah, come on, we can find that last. There we go. Proceed over to the takeover screen, select whatever takeovers it is, finish, because it doesn't matter. And then from here, we just go ahead and click edit build one more time, 2-way mid-range maestro. Okay, I get Michael Jordan. Yeah, I get those names. I get those names. Those names do make sense. Edit build, back all the way out to the main menu. And whilst in the main menu, go ahead, settings, change it over to imperial one last time. And then now we've got the glitch build set up. Now that we got it set up, which obviously you see me finding over here back out because it's black screen, but proceed over. Now that we got it set up, I'm gonna head over to the PS5 and over there I'm gonna show you how you take this glitch build and set it up to be one of the best Gary Trent Jr. builds. Okay, so now we're gonna go through the process of how you set up the glitched Gary Trent shooting guard build As most of you know, Gary Trent Jr. is the starting shooting guard for the Toronto Raptors, right-handed, jersey number 33. Height-wise, he is listed on majority of websites as being 6'5", aka 1.96 meters, whilst weighing in at about 209 pounds. Now, this is the glitched part of the build in that I decided to reduce his wingspan way below his height, not way below, but below his height of 6'5" with a wingspan of 6'4". This happens to be the best glitch when working with builds that have a lot of shooting to them. And then because of this, I decided to push his weight up to about 198 pounds, despite him in real life weighing 209, because I wanted the ability or the capability of getting at least Hall of Fame clamps on this build, because I do believe he is an excellent two-way shot creator and likes of it. He's not great at moving the ball around, but he is great at finding his own shots. Body shape-wise, as you can guess, we always go with defined. Now, first things first, I do like to get the physicals out the way. I don't personally believe he's one of the most uber athletic guards in the league, so I decided to give him an 85 speed and 85 excel, and then when it came to the stamina, I decided to give him a 94, because I do remember in my previous comments I was hearing, why don't you just max out stamina and free throw? The truth of it is, as I said to that comment, I personally don't ever see myself really burning my stamina out that much to need it maxed out. And when it comes to the vertical, I decided to go to 70. And then when it comes to the free throws and me not maxing them out, it usually just comes down to, if you can green your free throw release, there's no need to have it at a 99. Majority of the time, the reason to have it really high is if you know you're not that great at knocking down the shots. Now that we've finished with the physicals, the next thing I'd like to get into is the finishing. I decided to go with an 80 when it came to the driving layup, as well as an 81 when it came to the close shot. Mainly because, as you can see, I wanted to get silver acrobat, grace under pressure hook, gold fast twitch, and mouse in the house, as well as silver relentless finish, fearless finisher, and giant slayer. Now, key things here were I was aiming for at least silver on the layup sort of badges, i.e. acrobat, fearless finisher, and giant slayer, mainly because he is good at finishing at the cut through content, especially when it comes to layups. And then grace under pressure is always nice for when you find yourself under the basket and you want to finish. And then I went for gold mouse in the house because if you have watched Gary Trent Jr. play, when he does get someone smaller matched up against him, he usually does take as much advantage of it as he can. He's not one of those people that would still try and break down a shorter defender when he knows the truth of it is you can just use your size to beat them. Now, driving dunk wise, as we went with the 70 on the vertical, I had to go with an 85 when it came to the driving dunk, because I did want to get the ability of getting pro contact dunks, which in my personal opinion are some of the most generic contact dunks, in the fact of it basically, it's something you'd expect a bunch of NBA athletes to have, so we decided to go with an 85 when it came to the driving dunk, as well as a 70 when it came to the vertical. Post control, I would have put something, because he's not one of the greatest post players, but he is half decent coming out the post. But the truth of it was, I did want to put the attribute points elsewhere, because as much as I am trying to make this a Gary Trent Jr. build, I'm also trying to make it so that you guys can use this build as much as you want. Note, I am saying that because I did get called out in my comments with the Zion Williamson build, because part of it wasn't exactly matching Zion's full stats, and that it had way better shooting than he normally does. Now, when it comes to the mid-range jump shot, as you can guess, we go with an 89 because we do want to get gold blinders as well as Hall of Fame set shooter. And then when it came to the three ball, I decided to go with an 87, which I believe was a perfect match. Plus, it did allow us the ability of getting gold Deadeye as well as gold on almost every single badge, with the best thing being we get Hall of Fame corner specialist, fade ace, and sniper, which I personally believe really stand out on this build, because if you know Gary Trent Jr., he really is a marksman in the fact of catch and shoot. He really does shoot that ball well, as we saw in his first season in Portland. And then it's obviously when he got sent from Portland to Toronto, we saw a slight dip in his shooting in his second season, but then in his third season it's picked back up. Now, when it comes to free throw, as I said before, I do not like to max this out just because I believe if you can green your free throw, there's no need to have it uber high. But for this build, I decided to go with an 80 just in case, because some people might not be so fortunate with free throws as the rest of us. And then when it came to the playmaking side of it, I decided to go with an 85 when it comes to the ball handle to allow you to get all types of dribble packages. As I always do, I kept the speed with ball somewhat the same as my speed and acceleration, because I do believe these three have to match each other. That way you don't feel a significant drop in speed when you have the ball in your hands. Then when it came to the pass accuracy, as you know, I always go with a 78 because it allows us to get silver floor general as well as silver needle threader. The only thing we don't get is silver diamond, which, again speaking, Gary Trent Jr. is not one of the best floor generals. You know, he's not a floor general. That's the best way to say it. So there's no need to really have the pass accuracy that high. And then defensively, as I said, I do feel like he's one of the better two-way players in the league at his position, because they do use him to lock up quite a bit. So I decided to go with an 86 when it came to the perimeter defense. As you know, we put the weight at 198 to allow you guys to have the option to max this build out at a 94 perimeter defense, but I decided to go with an 86 because it allows us to get gold clamps as well as gold menace. And then when it came to the steal, I decided to give him a 90 just because I have noticed that his steals per game have considerably gone up since his first season to now, as in they continue to be in the upper range of the 1.5s, in the upper range of 1.7, i.e. they're a lot closer to 2 than they are 1.0. So I decided to give him a really good steal rating with the 90 that allows him to get Hall of Fame interceptor as well as go with pickpocket. And then when it comes to the block, as per usual, I do got to go with at least a 54 to get bronze intimidator, but in this case I decided to go with a 57 because I do want to get as well bronze chase star and artist. Now, as you can see, the grand total of badges that we finished with is 22 finishing, 30 shooting, 26 playmaking, and 19 defensive. This will most likely make 2K give us the likes of a playmaking shot creator because our badges balance out the most we have the most badges at shooting and playmaking. Now, in the grand total of it, we do finish with 45, 75, 97 total badge points on this year Gary Trent Jr. build. And if you somehow managed, if you managed to rebirth this build as well as somehow finish all 8 seasons at NBA 2K22 Next Gen, then you finish with a total of 109 total badge points on this year glitched Gary Trent Jr. build. Now, when it comes to takeovers, first one, as we said, I gotta go spot of precision because, as I said, Gary Trent Jr. is he shoots really well off the catch and shoot, so I do got to give him a boost when it comes to spot of precision. And then the second one, I will go extreme clamps. No, actually, you know what? First takeover I'm gonna go with is gonna be something along the lines of negative impact because he does have the ability to create his own jump shot and shoot with the hand in his face. And then the second takeover I gotta go with is extreme clamps because, as I said, even though it's not spoken of, he does play defense really well, so I do got to show some respect to that. Now, what 2K says we have happened to build here happens to be a playmaking shot creator, as you suspected, the likes of Norman Powell, Tyrese Maxey, and Joe Dumars. I can see it in Tyrese Maxey and Norman Powell. I'm too young. I didn't watch Joe Dumars play, so I don't know whether he would fit into this category. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, which if you did, don't forget to do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as well as if you have a comment on a specific build you want to see me make, drop that down below in the comments. And if you have a critique on this build and how we did it, then do me a favor, go ahead and drop that down below in the comments because I do enjoy interacting with you guys and having those discussions. But yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.